All I want in this whole life, a little red house and a country wife, a picnic table.
Hi, good morning, good
Hi guys.
evening.
Good morning, good evening.
Good morning, good evening.
um, so we get a lot of requests about our budget because we just moved, guys. So obviously, new place, new budget.
New place, new budget. So we'll go over our budget that we currently have. And you said it was 6 weeks or no? We've been here about 6 weeks. We're still in the
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Angeles City area. So we're not out in the province, so your budget will vary. So if you're currently in the Philippines, let us know what your budget is. Comment below. And if you're living somewhere else in the world, definitely let us know what you guys are spending on your monthly amount. In the end, we'll talk about the total that we're paying now, and we'll discuss like what our income is, and then like what the YouTube is bringing in, and we'll reveal that all in one. So, what's the exchange rate today?
The exchange rate today is at 57.32. Now, bear in mind, guys, again, this budget is based on a location. It's a prime location, and I talked to a lot of locals, and they say the rent here and everything here is slightly higher than most places because, like right now, we're in walking distance of two supermarkets, a full-size hospital, everything.
Yes.
We're walking distance of anything we ever want. Two 7-Elevens.
Right. So it's a prime location, and will you pay less in this area? It's a good possibility. They have places for single people that may cost half of what we're paying in rent. You'll pay half the electricity. Ours is probably a medium, what they would consider a middle class to an upper middle class income in the way we're living. We've got gates out front here. We have our security cameras. We have a little area here for the dogs, as you guys have seen. And I'll probably do a quick pan through the house, and then that way you guys can see where we live and just throw a couple clips. So we'll get to the budget, and we're glad that you guys have joined us. The first thing on the list is our rent. So the rent is 10,000 pesos. Okay, and again, the exchange is at 54. It's higher, but that's what really is called the exchange.
You don't get the 57.32 anywhere.
No, not out of the bank, not out of place. I know you can do wire transfers, but I guarantee, we've done it through a couple places, and you still lose a few
They take their
pesos
cut.
right. So they're going to take their cut. So like I said, on your rent, you guys can rent. Like if you're a single guy, you can actually rent a room. You ain't single no more, babe. You can rent they've got these studio places, and it kind of just depends. It could go way up. I mean, you could be at Candy Palace and your rent could be just 30,000 pesos, which is about 600, give or take, a month. Probably with everything, it'd be about 700 a month. Because they have like electric and then the water you'd have to add in. There are communities where they're totally gated in and they're really nice looking houses. Then we'll probably run between 600-700 a month US, about anywhere from 20 to 40,000 pesos, which is fine. And then you have condos that are all over the place, but then we're going to cost you about the same. And then they have amenities, and we're hoping in the future to actually, like George has been showing you what real estate looks like. We're not trying to rent these places out, but I think in the future he's going to be doing more walkabouts, and we discussed that where he's going to go and look at some of these places for you guys. Next is our electric, which was just recently a sore subject. Oh my God. So our electric at the last place was between 9 to 12,000 with the AC running all the time. Here we had received a bill that was really crazy. In 10 days, it was almost 9,000. So we were really scared. George knew better, but I thought we were looking at a 30,000 peso bill, which is 600 US dollars. That's insane. That's just insane. We paid half of that, and it was for an oversized house, and I was running the AC all the time and cold. So it is currently 8,500. That's with the AC sometimes during our lives. That's, lights, charging. That's with the new washer. And exhaust fan and everything. So we are confident it'll stay under 10,000 or under $200. Next would be our food and house needs. We order twice a month from the delivery app, either through like SM or Robinson's Mall. Here, we do that twice a month, and then order stuff in between. So like George will go up to like 7-Eleven and grab like dish soap or something, or he gets fruit at the market. You'll see us go out, and that's when we grab fruit from the market. That's the chicken lady, the fish lady going by. That's all of that. and the actual markets, and that is, if I didn't say, it's 15,000 pesos, which is about 300. Sometimes that might go up or down. There are some months because we've already got, we got a lot of noodles and stuff on the shelf that I'm looking at now. So sometimes we don't always buy certain things. That includes toilet paper. We use diaper wipes. So that's somewhat middle for expats. Some live out in the province and grow their own veggies. They have their chickens. Things will get cheaper. There's no way they hear 15,000 or a Filipino hears that they're about ready to pass out. So it depends. And that includes rice and everything because a lot of them will just eat fish and rice.
That's rent. More than rent.
Right. So for a Filipino, that would be extensive. And next on here is our medical medicine, and we have PhilHealth. So we paid for that for the year. PhilHealth only covers 30%. Check in your area how it's actually set up. Usually you go in and speak to the rep, and so it just depends if your spouse has it. And then they do allow expats. There's all new rules for that, and you don't have to be married to do that. They started that a couple years ago. Total including medicine. I go to the doctor now like once a month, give or take a doctor visit here at the hospital here. And then Clark Medical Center is about $22 or about 1,100 pesos. So this includes at least one visit a month, small emergencies, like you can go in for X amount and have things done. Major medical is something totally different, guys. So we spend about 6,000 pesos. And I'm going to put this list up in the description and then put the amounts, what it all converts to. So again, we don't have any extra insurance right now. We're going to be self-pay. Is it okay to be self-pay? I recommend you guys try to keep a major medical with you. Like I've got Medicare still in the U.S., so I would just save up for a plane ticket and be prepared to fly somewhere if you guys are coming here. Get some sort of extra insurance that maybe pays for like some sort of death benefits or something, and because it'd make me feel more secure. And we do plan to do this in the future. So, things happen, life happens. Anyway, I was going to say something else. Our internet is next. We have, go ahead, take away on the internet.
We have Global Home. We actually don't have the basic one. Again, if you're a gamer, I suggest you get the upgraded one. We get the middle class one. It's not the most expensive, but the most expensive is what? 100 pesos more?
It does go up by a few hundred pesos, but the difference is not much. I think it's like 50 megabytes. And here it's really not going to make a difference because internet, depending on where you're at, we have it pretty good. You guys have seen our internet go down, but in this area and for what we have Globe, and it's 2,100 pesos a month, which is about $40.
Right.
Next on and that includes a home phone, and we do use that home phone to call service places. So next will be our phone. We have two cell phones. We have Globe, and what's the other one? Smart. So we do it for two reasons. You can get a dual SIM, like George said, and make sure you put that in there when you're going out and about. One service will work better than the other. There's several prepaid, postpaid, and a bunch of other. Remember on the postpaid, a lot of times expats, you have to show your ACRI card and a bunch of other things like your permanent address before these people set you up on the long-term plans postpaid, which means kind of like going in Verizon and getting yourself set up. So I think one's got 4 gigabytes and the other one of data, and then it's got unlimited calls and text. So both of them have that plan. And really, really, it's a nice plan. And totally, we pay 800 pesos. So that's not very much. It's like $9. So we'll throw that. And that's for 2 phones for the month. The next thing that we have is water and trash. Our water has been as low as 300 pesos at this place and the last place. But what was the last bill?
Well, it's higher because we do have now, thank you guys, a washing machine.
Thank you.
So now it's 450. Not that much.
But we do expect now that we keep the patio clean for the dogs and we disinfect, and now that was only a partial month of washing, we suspect it could be as much as 800 pesos to 1,000, which still, guys, is only $20. So next in that list is the trash. How much is our trash, man?
Okay, 150.
That means water and trash together is under $25. Next would be our transport. This would include like him going and getting medicine. That would be like trips to the mall, visa extensions. Sometimes we just go on up to the grocery store. You guys will see it at other places, and we're filming and stuff. So, and then the meet and greets and everything. So right now we're figuring that we're at about
2,000.
Yeah, 2,000 is about $40. We choose not to drive for multiple reasons. We're now officially starting to save for a tuk-tuk now. So that's what you've added recently to your Buy Me a Coffee. Buy Me a Coffee, Buy Georgia Coffee. Which direction?
It would be that way. That depends on how you set up. Yeah, trikes, bikes, and grabs.
Right. And so if you guys do end up driving, then you're going to need the license. Don't they need that now? Didn't they officially say that most everything needed a license now?
Yeah, almost everything needs a license, and then here you have to go to school as of now. What I'm saying is things do change here, but right now you are required to go to driving school to get a license.
But
Unless
you're an expat and have a valid license, then you can do a transferring of your license,
conversion.
the conversion, and check out our video for that. We do have where it discusses this, but you have to do that after 90 days if you continue to drive. No international license, no your American, European, any of those licenses, all of those still expire after 90 days. So then you'd want to go in there and do it if you're going to stay long term. So we're trying to avoid all that, and we just rather pay the grabs, cabs, trikes, and all that to get around. But a lot of people will miss having their car. I yell, complain, everything to George all the time. I wish I could just hop in my car and go, and you kind of lose that freedom. So it kind of pulls down on you to really want to get out and drive. But we really don't suggest, especially in the major cities, and it's dangerous roads, and just do your due diligence and look into what's going to be better for you. But we'd rather not get wrapped up in that. Visa extensions, bi-monthly. I know, bi-monthly. I say $1,400 a month, so it's $28 without the ACRI card. So when you go and you're here on the 25th day, let's say you get your free 30-day visitor visa and you're going to extend it, go in around the 25th, 26th day, and you can go, some people go at the 28th, but make sure you're there, and then they will give you, I believe, 30 more days. I think some of them are giving 60 right from the get-go, but it might just only be 30 days, then they do a 60-day. When you go back in for the 30 and 60 days, then they will ask, and every office is different, you will need that ACRI card. So that will cost you another 50 US. But after that, if you're doing the every few months, then I can only advise that it's around $2,800 pesos in Angeles City. And then if you guys do a 6-month in Manila, or if you do the, it goes up from there. It can be as much as $9,000, like $180, $190 for a 6-month one. If you guys are doing your other things, remember if you're on an SRRV, there are yearly fees, which is still $300 a year. So you'd want to save a little bit up for that each month. And then the 13A, you still go in on, you don't have to save up monthly for that. That's a different fee, guys. So after that, we have pet care and food, which is dog food, cat food, strays right now. And this is on a lower end. So this is going to be on a lower end right now. That's if we buy them a few treats, and again, the strays, any medicine, we buy eardrop salve, worming medicine, all that. It's between 4,000 and 5,000 pesos, which is closer to $100. But the 4,000 is around $80, and that's if it's a slow month or something and nothing else goes on and they don't have to hit a vet bill. We got hit by the kitten passing away last month. So it costs just a little bit more, but give or take, just figure about $100. Pets still cost a lot here. It's the one thing, they usually just feed them rice or something else. So we mix a little bit of rice for the puppies along with their high protein food, and the cats, we get them higher quality food. Then we're going to discuss what a lot of them don't discuss in their budget, YouTube. They don't discuss what it costs. YouTube costs, it depends on the month. On average, it's going to be about 5,000 pesos or $100. Because 60 or so is on apps. So that's apps to edit. That's apps. We pay for our personal music. We pay for a website, and we pay for vendors. So then comes in cords. Cords don't last that long when you're plugging them in and up. It's just not the average use. Lights. Our lights like sizzle up. We have to buy new lights, and things like this cost money. We're not
SD cards die.
SD cards don't last forever. We do the whole. We do our lives, which it used to be we was in the AC or the dehumidifier all the time, and now we're going to be doing. Oh, is that puto? I thought that was
puto.
And real life, guys, real people, real life. This is what's going on.
Real sounds.
Real sounds, and so we won't be using that, but the air conditioner would probably really contribute to the YouTube side. So we already said that. So again, just figuring around $100 a month, and that's minimal. Could be as much as $200-300. The month and a half ago before we moved here, right before we moved here, we had to buy a brand new monitor because the laptop's going out because it's a few years old now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We had to buy that. Mics cost. Our mics go out. We're not wearing one right now. I hope this is clear enough. But that's because here's the thing: our mics aren't charged right now, so we can't use them. So usually it requires 2-3 sets of mics so you can keep one. If the vendors come, we want to talk to them and give you guys an interview, we need another set of mics. So technically you need like 3 sets of mics because they always need to be charged, and it's not as easy as you guys think. Just saying, hey, why don't you just charge them right away? And then our extras, guys, we have like where, like I said, we buy things extra from the vendors. We go down to the markets and buy like pillowcases, just different things that come up. It's just a rising costs, and I have about 4,000 on here, so that's about another $80 a month. That's if we order some pizza or eat out. Like the other day, we ordered chicken sandwiches for breakfast because
that
we were
was
both.
really good.
Oh my God, it's got a little piece of ham. They
That's
call
really
it
good.
what do they call that? The hamando or
Hamonado.
oh my God, let me throw a screenshot up of this. Oh my God, guys.
No, that was really, really good. I'd rather have that than a burger.
It had a piece of chicken. It had a little piece of ham, the same ham that's on the Egg McMuffin. And then they throw honey like mayonnaise on it and a barbecue.
Sauce,
and it was like the bomb. And I told George, it was really inexpensive. It was cheaper than cooking. And we don't do the fast food as much as you guys think. So we live a very simple life, guys. Can you live on our budget? A lot of Filipinos, like George said, would love to live on what we're actually living on. We are middle to upper class in the Philippines. And there are people that live with a lot less. I mean, they live on half the amount that we do, and they do more than fine. So we're enjoying where we're at. So the cost that we're spending right now is 60,000 pesos. And you guys probably can't see this. I probably have to cut it out. It's
we can do the screenshot.
Yeah, I'll put the screenshot. And that turns out to be about $1,100 a month. Now, in the calculations that you see up here, we make the $1,400 a month from the Social Security. George, with his YouTube and social media company, bring in a few hundred more. We were saying, give or take, it's $400 or $500 a month, depending on how well the actual channel goes and people supporting our channel and everything. So total, I'm going to guesstimate we make $1,800 to $1,900. So let's just put the high end of $1,900 up is what we make total each month. As you guys see, there is, we're spending $1,100. Remember, not all of our months are that good. Like this month, it honestly was about $300 US. So that puts us at $1,700 a month. But we'll put what do you think, George? 19 on a high month. But on that end, this is the difference. And sometimes right now with our move and different other expenses that come up, you never know what it actually arises. Then we're trying to throw that into our savings right now. So with the YouTube and what we make.
But keep in mind, this is our budget. Okay. What I'm getting at is some people, the rent alone is our entire budget. 60,000 just on rent alone.
It can happen in BGC, Makati, some of the areas, and they have them here, guys. They have condos that go that much.
And also remember, again, this is our budget. For example, our food budget. There are some that's their monthly budget.
That's true.
So it's all relative on how you want to live your life.
We're talking Filipinos and to expats that are coming here to visit or to live. And remember, vacation is different than living here. You'll spend a lot more money on vacation, doing the eating, the hotels, the transport, because you're always going to be moving around. This is living here. And I appreciate that you actually mentioned, that people live on more or less, because can you do it for under 2,000 a month? Would we'd have to say the answer is yes. If you throw in a couple hundred more, because this is everything that we're spending a month. And are we eating steak all the time? Are we, like chowing down on like full veggies and the whole works like Thanksgiving every day? No, the answer is no. We have days where we just eat, where we eat scrambled eggs and have pancakes or something, or we'll do rice and just some tocino meat, which is only a couple dollars for the pork that we put there, or we just do, salads with pork on it. It just depends. But we don't go hungry. We have everything that we need,
And Heidi gets creative. She makes her own little recipes.
I make a lot of soups and, like I did a bean and rice and we had it was really good, guys.
Like I said, tacos. Check out that video.
Yeah. So it's, it's all doable. We say whatever you're spending on rent, whatever country you're at, you should be able to do well. So if you guys are spending 18, 19, 2,000, again, that's for one or two people, guys. There are other costs if you have kids and all that. We don't have kids, we have pets. So those costs will raise up per person that you actually have. So here is my estimate. Here, I would say 1,000 a person, pretty much, or 800 to 1,000 a person. So if you're coming with a family of 3, then figure 3,000 you should be more than comfortable here.
Right.
That would be a sweet spot. If you guys have a family of 4, then plan on 3,000 to 4,000 in income a month, depending on the area. Now, can you go out in the province and live on half of what we're talking about? Most definitely.
Definitely. And remember, we do rescues. Okay. And thank you for your support, guys. Now, some of you have that good heart that you want to take care of these animals. Remember, you have to factor in that budget because they do cost. helping out these animals.
Yes, it breaks your heart, and we do a lot of them just here, guys. You guys seen
Yeah.
us with a bunch of cats. We keep them, and then we've rehomed them, and we still have a couple. Now we still have 5 pets, guys. But remember, that bag of dog food is still $25. You know, the vet bills are really inexpensive, but if something serious happens, our friend Carl actually, you know, he just recently paid $2,800 or something. So he almost paid $50 for an ear infection on his cat. So it just depends, guys. Always factor in that you can spend as much money as you want and as little as you want, guys. And we do appreciate you guys being here. As we always say, keep it real, do your own due diligence. And as we always say, keep your heads up and your hearts open. And we'll see you soon in the Philippines. Bye, guys. I still got the same face. So do you. Oh, but
Still ugly.
anyways, you think they heard all that honk honk and bark bark? At least the bark bark didn't bark bark. Bark 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 bark.
Abort, 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 abort.